Hey guys, today on Let's Fish TV, we're here at Lake Pinkston. We're right in the middle of the pre-spawn. We're gonna go out there and try to do some different things. I think we can go out there and catch maybe even a couple big ones. That's what we're gonna hope for. So let's go out there. We got a beautiful day, kind of calm, a little bit of clouds. Let's go see what we can do. Let's Fish TV is on the air right now.
Oh my gosh. Check that out.
It's time for the only program that brings you real-time fishing reports from the Southwest region every week.
Cobia! Big one. And a monster! Look at that! That's a Tawakoni giant.
This is Let's Fish.
Hey guys, welcome to Let's Fish TV. I'm your host, Todd Castleline, and today we're here on Lake Pinkston. Man guys, I think we're gonna have a great show today. Lake Pinkston, it's not a very big lake. In fact, it's quite small, but what it lacks in size makes up for in big, big bass. And today, we're gonna go try to catch some of those bass, but mainly we're gonna go try to catch those hard to catch fish, suspended fish. I think we can catch them on a jerkbait. Really a deep diving jerkbait. I think that's gonna be the deal today. It's usually tough this time of the year, so we're gonna go see what we can do. We're gonna have this week's fishing reports from our local region, from our insider reporters. Right now, I got the boat launched. I got some things to do. I gotta get the rods out, some reels, some baits, get it all ready. While I do that, let's toss it back to the studio for your weekend planner.
Hi everybody, these Lunar tables are predicting fair game fish activity on both days this weekend. Peak times begin at 8:29 on Saturday and 9:21 Sunday morning. Prime evening action will begin around 8:56 on Saturday and 9:47 Sunday night. Depending on your local area, expect the sun to rise around 7:17 and set at 7:49. Evenings will feature a moon that's 80% visible. Stay with us. We've got fishing reports from across the area on the way. Plus, I'll return with 2020 and 2021 Bassmaster Classic champ Hank Cherry, who will stop by to answer your Ask the Pro question.
Hey guys, we're out here in East Texas on a place that I kind of grew up fishing a lot. Right now we're in early spring. It's still kind of cold outside. Today we got a nice day. It's been raining a lot. We've had a lot of water. The lake's come up a bunch, and we're gonna go see what's going on. Probably on the north end, we're gonna go throw thunder crickets, some spinner baits, maybe do maybe a hybrid hunter or two. I don't really know. We haven't been out here all year, but we're gonna see what it's like. They should be up shallow just because of the rising water, and even though it's still early spring, the water's not too terribly cold. So hopefully it'll be pretty good. Got him. Good one. Good one. There he is, finally. Not a bad little fish. Ate it too. Got all my rods out here. I mean, ate it like it's supposed to. Man. Well, we're out here. I don't even know how I'm supposed to grab that thing. Out here, East Texas, Lake Pinkston. Kind of a historic lake, man. This thing has held out some really big ones back in the day, and it's still got some good ones in it. We're coming out here throwing a bunch of stuff right now. I'm trying to figure out what they're biting on. It seems like I've had a couple small ones on this jerkbait, but if they're all gonna eat it like that, just throwing a deep diving jerkbait really just over timber. Pretty good little fish for the first one. All right guys, we're out here at Lake Pinkston, early spring. Got some clouds, it's really calm. The water's about 55 degrees, and we're just throwing a deep diving jerkbait. It's the KVD Strike King deep diving jerkbait. There's a bunch of trees, stumps, trees all throughout this whole lake. So right now we're just throwing a jerkbait over them, seeing if we can't catch them. I kind of thought I should be working it slow, but I finally got one to commit. I was just kind of going a little bit faster. You know, these fish, they suspend a lot more on these trees than I think what people realized. And forward-facing sonar has kind of showed us that. You don't really need it to catch these fish. I'm just out here kind of blind casting around at these stumps and trees. Like I said, they're all out here. And so you work it long enough, you'll just start catching some.
Hi everybody, and welcome to this week's Lone Star Lakes, brought to you once again by the good folks at Costa Del Mar. Costa not only makes some great sunglasses, but they really do care about the environment that we fish in and we spend our time in. They really were born on the water. So look for the Untangled collection, where they take fishing nets that are recycled and turn them into sunglass frames. Now this week we've come to Lake Athens, where bass are still on beds. You'll have to look around in different places on the lake, probably more toward the north side of the lake, to find bass still on beds. A lot of fish transitioning off the beds and out into the mouths of the creeks. But you can use your standard shallow water baits. Use those top waters like a frog, a popper, buzzbait, or even a Xeraspook. Now over at Little Purtis Creek, you've got a great crappie bite. Look for where the timber meets the deep water on the upper end of the lake by the dam, and fish that timber edge with your minnows or your crappie jigs. That's this week's Lone Star Lakes. Be sure and check us out on Facebook, Lone Star Lakes.
Got him, big one. Oh yeah, big one. Oh man. You gotta be careful with, I'll push that button, let them run a little bit. Sometimes you got to when they're on this jerkbait out here, especially if you don't have anything to worry about. She's still going. Usually if you just play them real nice and easy on that jerkbait, you can get them in. She's just digging down there. All right, here she comes. Maybe. Yep. I got her hooked good. Just, I mean, fat. I mean, look at that pre-spawn fish right there. God, that's really cool. I don't even know how to get her out. They are, when they're eating it though, they're eating it head first like you want them to. I mean, that fish is not that big, but is absolutely heavy as can be. That's why I didn't want to play them hard. Them hooks on that jerkbait, usually they get them pretty good. Just don't want to rip them out, fighting them. Look at that fish. I mean, look at the belly on her. Big old pre-spawn fish just out here. I mean, out here in the middle of nothing. Just out here suspended. Good fish. Here's the key. I just switched jerkbait colors. I think, you know, sometimes you got to do that. That's probably the one bait that I've noticed with forward-facing sonar or just in general. Jerkbait colors, for whatever reason, when you can switch, you can actually get them to commit. It feels like they're not committing that well. And I just switched about 5 minutes ago. So it's pretty cool. Just put on like a clear water minnow one. Or the wind started blowing and made them bite a little bit more. But I mean, we are actually, if you look around, we are in the middle of the creek or pretty much the lake for that matter. So like you can catch these fish right in the middle. I don't think people were used to that years ago. They thought they had to be around timber and things. There's no timber around me right now. I'm just right out in the middle. It's amazing how these fish will get out here like this. I think they've always done it. We just didn't know about it.
Let's Fish TV is proudly backed by Mercury, Go Boldly, Lowrance, the ultimate fishing system, Gulf Shores and Orange Beach, Alabama. Plan or book your fishing charter at orangebeach.com. Motor Guides Tour Pro with GPS anchor, powered by passion. Glacier Outdoor, outdoors since 1982.
That's a good one right there. Might be the biggest one of the day. Oh. Good one right there. Oh, maybe it'd be a good one. Oh yeah, good one right there. Every once in a while I'll push that button, man, just in case they want to make a run. That's a good one right there. Might be the biggest one of the day. Oh. That's awesome. Oh yeah. These jerkbait rods and light line and small hooks, always want to be prepared. I don't really want drag. I want to make sure you can tell when he makes that jump and then goes back down, that's when I'll push that button and I just thumb it. That's really important. See, like, that way I can control the drag with my thumb a lot easier. Hook good too. Oh, look at that one, guys. Man, it's been tough out here, but have got some big ones in here. Look at that pretty fish. Just crushed that KVD 300 DD. See, I want to show y'all something. This is really cool. I want to show y'all what happens. Even with my thumb, I want you to check something out. I'll show you that in just a second. Look at that fish though, guys. Out here, 30 foot of water, and you can still catch them on a jerkbait. They're not down that deep. All right, let's get this one back in the water. All right, guys, I'm changing the hooks on that jerkbait. Normally, I don't change the hooks on it. I'm fine with the hooks that come on there. What'll happen though is after time, catching a couple fish, you know, that bait I've actually had for a while, the hooks will eventually bend. So I've got some owner Zo-Wire hooks, number 4s. I'll put those on there, and as you can see, they match perfect with what's already on there. So I've got one that didn't bend and 2 that bent, so I'll just change the 2 that bent. And what's cool is, like, the 300s, so they make 2 different sizes. They make a 200 and a 300, Strike King does. And then they make 2 different, they go 2 different depths. They got the regular 300 and the regular 200, and then they got the DD 300. And the deep DD is the deep diver. That's what the DD stands for. But what's cool is, like you said, you can get 3 hooks on there, and they're not little 6/0 hooks, you know? Number 6s are they're number 4s. So I can put number 4s on there, and man, I just like a little bit bigger hook. You know, they're a little bit stronger, and that's what I'll do. And now, I can go throw this thing back out there and try to go catch another giant.
Hey everyone, welcome to this week's fishing report. I'm Captain Taylor Burrell at Wave Dancer Charters. Down here, since the weather's gotten a lot nicer, I know it don't look like that, it's raining a little bit right now, but the water clarity's cleared up, so we're back on the sheep's head and some speckled trout, even some slot redfish now and again. We're still catching a lot of big black drum backed off away from the rocks. Let's move further south down the coast, Port Aransas. Just saw today on Facebook, Dolphin Docks, they came in with a 657-pound bluefin tuna, with a lot of yellowfin and blackfin as well. That's it for this week's fishing report, guys. Remember, if you want to get offshore, contact us at wavedancercharters.com or go inshore jetty fishing at the Rockies.
Let's Fish TV is proudly backed by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Have fun out there. Visit Mississippi. Wanderers welcome. Power Pull, Total Boat Control. Balls Out. Made in the USA. Heavy-duty mounts for your fish finders. Rely on. Challenge your limits.
Sometimes you can get them real suspended on that underspin. There, like that. Big one, dude. You know, getting out here over these trees, man, like sometimes you can get them real suspended on that underspin. There, like that. Big one, dude. Guys, get a little cold water. Boy, I can't even believe she tried to even jump. Get in here. Look at that. Not a bad one. Out here, like when it gets this time of the year and it gets cold, they're trying to rise up in that water. You can get them right over the tree sometimes, suspended out here. I'm just throwing a little underspin with a baby Z2 on it. It's a pretty cool little deal for this time of the year. Man, all right, let's get her back. All right, guys, I really want to talk to y'all about the setup, but I've been throwing this underspin a lot this year, right? And it's really important about your setup and what you have when it comes to rod, reel, line, everything. So I still have my speed spool reel with 7-to-1. I'm not too worried about trying to slow it. I can slow it down as much as I want to with reel speed. I've got it on, this is interesting. I got it on the Signature Series Team Lou's Mark Rose rod, right? It's his swim bait rod. It's actually a 7.6 medium heavy. The reason is we're catching big ones out here. I don't really need a light rod. I want something that's kind of that in-between rod that I can really load them up. Because what happens is that they don't bite it hard, right? I mean, they just go up there and nip it. So it's not really a hook set. It's more of a reel and lean into them. And I actually don't have it on that light of line because they're not that deep. So I have it on about 16-pound line, right? It's kind of that in-between line where it's not too thick, it's not too thin, but we have a lot of trees out here, right? So if I do get one hung up, I can get them out of those trees, because 9 times out of 10, you are throwing this over something, right? Sometimes it's trees, sometimes it's a brush pile, things like that. That's what they'll get on. So that's the setup. You can see it handles those big fish just perfect.
Hey, Captain Kevin Broussard here with this week's Let's Fish Outdoor Report, coming to you from Cajun Paradise right here in Hackberry, Louisiana. Tell you what, we're gonna start out right here on Big Lake, Lake Calcasieu, talking about saltwater. Tell you what, when a big front comes through, yes, it makes fishing a little tougher, a little cold, a little miserable. Still catching lots of redfish. Trout bite slows down, flounder bite slows down, live shrimp seems to be the key right there, whether you got to fish it on a jig head or under a cork. Trout right now, they're really starting to show up. We got a lot of bait coming in. A lot of those are getting caught on 1/8 and 1/4 ounce Rockport Rattler jig heads, throwing a lot of down south soft plastics on it. Tell you what, if that bite slows down, we're also throwing live shrimp under the 4-horse cork, catching a lot of trout about 2 feet below that. Main thing is just find you a little bit of clean moving water and you're gonna produce some trout. For Old Cajun Phil, Captain Kevin Broussard saying, let's fish. We're gonna see you next week.
There he is, got him. Oh. Not another bad one. God, they're fighting so good out here. Not so much your line you gotta worry about, it's the hook, man. A lot of these aren't just, they're a small bait with a light wire hook, so you gotta kind of play them. You can tell I'm thumbing her, letting her kind of go, because she is. Now she's coming up, get ready. Coming up quick. Maybe she's tired out now. Oh. Oh, not a bad one right there. Look at that. That's what I'm talking about. You barely hook them, right? Sometimes you just sell, it's a little, look at that little skin hook. That's why you kind of want to fight them that way. Good fish though. Another big one. Man, this day is turning out to be pretty good. That sun has helped everything today. has really made some of these bigger ones start to bite. It's been a tough show, but it kind of just started getting better as the afternoon went on. We're starting to get a little bit of sun. The clouds are starting to go away. The fish are getting a little bit higher in the water column. Man, it seemed like they were a little bit on the jerkbait, and then the jerkbait died. Then they got on the underspin, the baby Z2. The baby Z2 might be one of the most underrated baits there is by Strike King. And maybe it's because it doesn't do a lot, but that's kind of what you want. You don't want a lot of action this time of the year. And it seems like that little underspin and the baby Z2 really kind of knocked it out of the park towards the end of the show. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed it. It was a fun day. I hope you learned something. Hopefully a little bit about the jerkbait, a little bit about the underspin, maybe a little bit about pre-spawn fishing, about how they react and where they're actually at and how they move around in the water column.
Watch our latest episode or catch up on past episodes on our website at letsfishtv.com. Be sure to hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, and follow us on Twitter for new fishing videos every day. And download the free Waypoint TV app to get all the latest episodes every week on your phone, tablet, computer, or smart TV. Let's Fish TV is proudly backed by Lose, Feel the Difference, Mamba Boats, Ride with Pride, Strike King, Tie One On, Fishing Specialties, makers of the premier mount assembly for live sonar.
Welcome back, everybody. Let's get right on over to your Ask the Pro question for this week. Xander would like to know, what is some good advice for anglers who don't own a boat and have to fish from the shore or the dock? For an answer, we asked 2020 and 2021 Bassmaster Classic champ, Hank Cherry.
If you don't own a boat or you have to fish from the shore or a dock. I should go ahead and tell you that's how I started. That's how everybody starts. You fish from the shore, you throw out as far as you can. You get in the boat, you throw towards the bank. You can do the same presentations pretty much from the shore as you can do from the boat. My best advice to you is this. Just enjoy fishing, having the chance to be out there. You know, we live in a free country. Fishing is a privilege, and just enjoy it. If you see some trash on the bank, pick it up while you're there, catch a few fish, have a good time.
Thanks so much, Hank, for your knowledge there. If you too want some help from one of the pros, all you have to do is go to letsfishtv.com and follow that Ask the Pro link to submit a question.
Here's today's Right Stuff, presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors.
All right, guys, some of the gear I was using today is really pretty simple, right? You know, deep diving Strike King jerkbait. All right, this is the 300 series. Had it paired with the Team Lou Signature Series Kevin Van Dam rod. This is his actual jerkbait rod. This is one he designed that he wanted to do all his jerkbait fishing with, and man, I love it. It's limber, it's short. That way it's easy to work, but you need this thing limber. You saw today, when you catch some big ones, man, you need a rod that's gonna bend and give you a little bit of play. And on this, I personally like to throw it on a Team Lou's Pro TI. This is the reel I always throw it, something with light line on. I got this rigged with 12-pound test line. So I love this reel with anything 12-pound test line or less, and it's just a smooth casting reel. I was really getting this bait out there a long way, so I needed a reel that could really cast. Hope you learned how to find them and catch them today on Lake Pinkston. Andrew will be back next week. Guys, I hope you had as much fun as I did. See you guys.